In honor of doing a Quackity merch redesign, here is a hair reveal.
Rolling down in the deep.
Hello everyone, I am Bill. I'm a multimedia artist who specializes in graphic design, branding, and a little bit of digital marketing. With my skills and inspiration from Kel Lawrence videos, who is amazing by the way, I decided, what if I recreate some of the merch I've seen floating around the internet? And one of the ones that has caught my eye, just one eye, was Quackity'S. And so here we are. But before we get down to business, I just want to say thank you so much for even clicking this video. Wow, that's so amazing. As you may have noticed, I just started this YouTube thingy. And yeah, I'd really appreciate any support you could give. Any nice feedback, a like, a subscribe. Ooh, 1 subscribe equals 1 strengthened hair follicle on my balding head. Hi. Editing Bill here. I know I was joking about the bald spot on my head, but bro, do you see that? It actually looks like I have a bald spot. Am I balding at the age of 21? Other than design videos, I also just recently posted a Minecraft video. So if you're interested in that, definitely check that out. Okay, that's it for the self promo for now. Let's get in with the video. Yeah. Also, if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my laptop to see what I'm actually doing as I'm designing. So I'm sorry if that bothers you, the lack of eye contact. Here, enjoy some eye contact right now.
Darling, I'm a nightmare.
Okay, before we actually start redesigning his merch, we have to see and understand with our limited brain cells what we're dealing with. And me being me, I made a little outline of what we want to take note of and what we want to discuss before getting to designing. First, we want to see his current merch collection. That way we can take note of colors he uses, the types of products they have, and the overall vibe of the collection basically. Next, like in any design project, we have to consider the demographic, aka the people who will be purchasing these merchandise. Especially since this is a merch line catered to people who watch Quackity or Quackity's audience, it's a must to consider what they want. And if this was a real merch design, obviously a lot of this data would be coming from Quackity and his team, but with the limited resources I have, I had to like observe and research a little, but mostly from my observation. And then from there, we identify what we want to retain from our merch redesign and what we want to revise. Then when we have all of that settled, we can pick what pieces we want to remake or make and get to doing them. The art. It? Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at Quackity's merch line, shall we? The main reason why his merch caught my eye was because instead of just being like a shirt that straight up just said Quackity or something like that, I appreciate how his whole merch line is like a separate brand from Quackity. So yeah, you can already tell that the fact that he had like a separate brand name or like a separate shop name, it's like a little step above the usual merch lines we're used to seeing. It's a lot more thought of. Like even opening the website, the loading screen. As someone who has experience in making websites, I should probably have a better term for this, but to put it simply, it's hot. Like just because I love it. Like, it's so sexy, let's go web animation. In his current merch capsule, he has 3 hoodies that have the same design, just different color variants. And then he has 4 shirts, an orange one, a black one, a red one, and a white one. I love the look of the hoodies. It's so simple in a good way, and it's the type of design that people outside of Quackity's audience would like and like be like, oh hey, that's a cute hoodie. Do you like ducks? Like, it's not too straightforward Quackity merch, which is really the vibe I want to go for when recreating Quackity's merch line. Like, very low-key merch. Like, you wouldn't know it's Quackity merch unless you actually know it's Quackity's merch. The simple iconography in this hoodie is something I would like to keep, definitely. Personally though, hoodies, I don't really gravitate towards buying them because I live in a tropical country. And the only time I wear hoodies is to sleep, or if it's cute enough to risk a heat stroke for. But what I would spend my money on though is crewnecks / sweaters. I feel like they're just easier to wear and easier to style. Like more climate friendly, I guess, because they're not as thick and bulky. So that's something I would want to add to Quackity's merch redesign. As for the shirts, I love it. I appreciate the variety in design. My favorite in terms of illustration is the Cedar Rapids one, except I don't know a lot of people who look good in orange. I also really like the Mi Perdonas shirt. It's very simple and I feel like it could be worn in any setting. Overall, as I've already said, I really like the Planet Duck merch, and I really can't think of one thing that needs to change. So all my goals for this redesign is really just based on personal preference. In general, I think it would be beneficial to have more of a variety in products, and along with that variety in products, more specifically lower priced products. To be honest, his merch line is pretty fairly priced, like $50 for, from what I heard, a very quality hoodie. I wouldn't know, they don't ship to the Philippines. Is really good. Like, that's not bad at all. And like a $25 shirt, that's like normal. But also, mentioning demographic earlier, from what I've seen, he also has a lot of young viewers, so I feel like $50 isn't always doable for them. Lower price items would be more accessible for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure 12-year-old Amanda would love to support Quackity by buying his merch, but $50 isn't that easy for her to shell out, especially since she's most likely not making her own money. I don't know how dollars work, but I'm pretty sure 12-year-old me would not be able to afford $50 or $25. Like, having little stuff like stickers and posters, maybe a keychain, would be really good. Not only for the business side, but also to provide more for the fans or the viewers that can't really afford $50 or $25. With that in mind, we can start designing the Quackity merch redesign. So for our imaginary Quackity merch line, I was thinking of including a crew neck with 3 color variants, a beanie, a shirt, a sticker pack, a bumper sticker, and a mini poster / postcards. As for the design approach, honestly, if I were the graphic designer and I had to design pieces for a merch line called Planet Duck, I'd most likely design it how it already is. Like I've said, I really feel like it's a well-designed merch line. But since this is a redesign, I can't just design something in the same style it's already designed. So I thought of making it a little more fun, making it a little bit more quirky, a little bit of something that's like, oh, I feel like I can see that on Pinterest or something, or like something that can make you like blend in your local indie cafe while still sporting Quackity merch. That vibe is the vibe we're going for. I pulled together a mood board and ultimately settled with a mix between retrofuturism and mid-century modern. I really feel like these two movements mesh well together, and they can make the whole space concept of Planet Duck really shine in a way that's more than just planets in the solar system. Like, we can go for a more sci-fi vibe, like futuristic. With that, some of the key elements I'd like to include are these little icons that are present in both movements that I mentioned earlier. As for color, I actually pulled the colors from the Quackity shop website, and it actually worked really well for the vibe we're going for. It's more muted than I expected because in the merch pieces, they use pretty bright colors, but the website itself had muted colors, which I really like. I'm a muted colors fan. Finally, now we can actually start designing Crewneck. First, we have the Crewneck. While brainstorming and building the mood board, I saw a lot of vintage NASA posters, and I saw this really cool NASA enlistment poster, so I thought it would be a good concept to pull. And I thought it would be really cool to make like this whole space club, join the Quackity whatever vibe. So that's what I did. On my iPad, I drafted out a little graphic that would say, "Join the Planet Duck Space Club." So cute. With stars, planets, a spaceship, and a little duck wearing a space helmet. Isn't that so freaking cute? For the text, I wanted to have a little bit more personality, a little bit more quirkiness. So, and like floating in space vibes. Then I rendered it on Photoshop and placed it on a mock-up. Originally, I wanted to make it an oversized print, but I actually tried like an oversized print for like a more vintage vibe. But I tried the smaller one and it looked a lot more upscale and a little more classy, so I went with that. Shirt time! Shirt! Looking at the shirts he already had in his line, they were already pretty graphic, so I wanted to like balance it out and make like a shirt with like with simple iconography like in the hoodie that he already has in his merch line. I want like a loose tee that people can layer things on top or under. Like, you know, those cool long sleeves under the shirt e-boy vibes? I feel like that would be really cute. I sketched out a cute design idea and also rendered it on my iPad. I feel like this shirt and this design would look cool as a nice puff ink or possibly embroidered, whichever is more doable. The duck being abducted into a spaceship also relates to the Join Planet Duck Space Club theme, because it's like, dragging you into the Quackity audience. Come on, join the club of people who watch Quackity. So all I need to do is put this on a mock-up and maybe a simple model if I can find one and make it work, since I mentioned a possible way to style it. Beanie time, beanie time, Mr. Beanie. When I first looked at his merch collection, I was actually pretty surprised that he didn't have any type of headwear. I originally thought of designing a cap since I think they're easier to produce and I think they're more wearable than beanies, but beanies seem to be a Quackity thing, I think. It's a thing, right? I'm pretty sure it's a thing. Like, he seems to wear more beanies than caps, so it would make sense to sell beanies. Like, I feel like that's a reference his audience would appreciate. You know, Quackity beanies. That would be cute. Usually merch lines have repetitive imagery, not really repetitive, but cohesive imagery, so they tend to use the same illustrations a lot. So I'm thinking of either using the graphic from the sweater or from the shirt. If this was a real merch line, I'd have to choose one, but since this is all imaginary, I can go ham and just do both. Sticker time, sticker time, sticker time. Stickers are probably my favorite thing to design because you can get really creative with it. And I love stickers also, like my laptop is full of stickers. So I thought of designing a sticker pack and a bumper sticker. So let's get to the bumper sticker first. I think I've seen clips of Quackity saying that he likes driving. I may be making stuff up in my head again, like the beanie thing. Am I making stuff up about Quack? No, I'm not. I'm pretty sure he likes driving. Or does he just always talk about driving? I don't know. Anyway, I feel like it would be cool to make a bumper sticker. And I also know, do I know or am I imagining again? If I'm imagining all of this would be embarrassing. But anyway, I think there's like a running joke of calling him a divorced dad because he dresses like one with like the button down thingy. So I feel like it would be a cute thing to mix together and make a bumper sticker that says just divorced. I feel like that's really funny. I played around with a couple of shapes but decided on an oval shape The astronaut duck I illustrated earlier. Of course, we still need to add the planet duck branding. For the actual sticker sheet, I'm including the same illustrations used in the beanie, an alien duck, the astronaut duck, and some cute stars and spaceships here and there, and yeah, like a couple more stuff that just say planet duck or Quackity. Gamers. Can you see me so losing my mind making this? I think this whole line took me like 6 hours to do. Live, laugh, love. I personally love collecting prints to stick on my wall or something, so I thought having a print that looked like a postcard would go great with the line. It also ties in with the whole vintage vibe. And it would look really cute if it said like, greetings from Planet Duck. So I illustrated a planet landscape vibe inspired by the swirls in the Planet Duck gift card. We also have to include our recurring character, the astronaut duck. We should give him a name. Comment down a name for Astro Duck. And wow, OMG, we're done. Cue the highlight reel. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it somewhat insightful, I guess. I'd love to make more content like this, so let me know you like watching stuff like this by leaving a like and maybe subscribe to avoid me getting bald. So yeah, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and share this with your favorite history teacher.